Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. Some serious pride on the line in this contest as these two divisional rivals take the field together for the first time this season. Almost a playoff atmosphere surrounding the game between these two bitter opponents. It's the Cowboys going up against the Redskins. So with kickoff straight ahead, we'll check in with our broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Tonight it's on to Week 4 as we've got a good Thursday night matchup in store between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Redskins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Garden. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. An early season tilt, and when it's an early season tilt, it should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams are eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, and I don't think from what we saw down the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They're led out by a former fourth-round pick of the Cardinals out of Virginia Tech. It's Logan Thomas. Here's Thomas. Flushed out right. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does. We're talking about an era in the game where the quarterback is the most athletically gifted that we've seen in the bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. The run routes change things. Make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they play in that. It's not just your 6 steps, 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore. You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be a design run as well as his scrambles.
Touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Well, he's used to running at that distance. Here, he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards out of the end zone. And a couple yards deep, they'll go to a knee. He will return. And they'll take it out to the 25. So I've got the Redskins offense now on the field. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
which is so even keeled, often masks a burning desire to win and perform. This guy takes it seriously when he lines up to play, and usually he puts on a nice performance.
Trying to find a lane, but instead they get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. So look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game now to the field. They tell us the same thing every time. They'll be next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
They get 9 yards back on the run there. They're out to a much more favorable 3rd and 2.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in long-distance situations, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Right now I take my rudimentary kindergarten skills and draw where the tackle box would be, because that was close. I thought he was in the tackle box. He has to be very careful where he gets rid of the football for that spot.
Yeah, they say there was a receiver in the area, though.
Yeah. There's always a receiver in the area.
This is fielded at the 7.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic 1st down.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38. Ohio.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
One of the things that's really difficult for an offense is often identifying how to block a 3-4 defense. Well, when they're coming out of blitz, even more difficult. They're elusive targets and hard to hit.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And some room to work. Cuts it out here, left side. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great effort there. 83 yards. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And last time we saw them go for it in kind of an unusual situation. It's not like it's a fourth quarter do or die. They went for it, didn't get it. We'll see how that affects them this go around.
Partner, I'm wondering if we're starting to see the effects of analytics coming into play here, where people are studying the number of possessions, how many times you should go for it, what position it leaves your team in. Maybe we're starting to see a little bit of that creeping into the NFL game.
Yeah, I think we've seen it in other sports, maybe into the NFL now as well. They'll run it again with Sims. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. Starting 11 here for the offense. It's going to take some snaps here in a second. Wide receiver Pierre Garçon, always been a very good force in this league.
I agree with you totally on that. Even as a youngster, played with a fury, played with force, continues to do that now as a veteran, and knows how to mentor the younger guys.
Now Sims. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
They'll run here with Sims. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
Randy Gregory entered the league with people excited about his pass rushing skills. They continue to stay excited about his potential.
Second down following the run. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. He's got time. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Holding. Defense.
So the grab there by the defense, the holding penalty call. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Sims. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
After watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the #1 defense? He gave us no indication, didn't tip his hand at all, so we have to see how this unfolds as this game moves along.
One man in the backfield, that's Jones. And they'll give it to him here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
On 3rd down, Cousins finding time. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Well, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it was almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackle was there right away for a loss of yardage.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. One back is Morris. They'll look to throw here. Rolling to his right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. One quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. 14-0 is our score. We'll head back to FedEx Field after this timeout.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They'll come out in the pistol.
Here we go! Ohio!
And they'll run it here. A strong running. And now the rookie's free. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. So he's in for his 3rd score of the game. And defense probably saying, man, we don't want to see this guy for a long time.
It's bad enough when anyone scores a touchdown against you. But for one person to get 3, it almost sets him apart from the rest of the game, and no one likes to see any of those players on a pedestal, not from the defensive point of view.
Extra point try by Bailey. And it is now 21-0. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
2nd down now after the incompletion. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. So nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Randy Gregory in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on 2nd down. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. 3rd and long for Cousins. He's got time in the pocket. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
This is fielded at the 27. Spins past another.
Oh, my man.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. He'll get 3 up to midfield. Give the tackle there to Josh Norman.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down. You're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
On 3rd and short, not only did he get away from the rush and pick up a first down, he picked up a whole lot more than that. And how did he get it done? Evaded the rush, kept his poise, and then how about him directing traffic as he moved downfield to pick up extra blockers? A really nice run.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. And on the ground they go with a running back. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Looking for his running back, and he's got it. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. They'll drop the throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And a defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. They'll look to throw here on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down. Here's Thomas. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Escaping the pressure right. Hard throw, incomplete. The Cowboys' all-time receptions leader, Jason Witten, the intended target. And it's now 4th and 3.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
Trying to lay one up deep. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. And nobody was open downfield there. Looked like a pretty clear throwaway.
Yeah, definitely was that. I'm wondering why there wasn't intentional grounding. I know they're saying there's a receiver there in the area.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jamarcus Lawrence in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. This is taken at the 23. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And they have had success on the ground, really as a team, doing well carrying the football. So maybe a little less pressure on his shoulders as the quarterback.
Any pressure he's carrying right now, that's self-inflicted, right? He's taking it on. He doesn't need to. Continue to do what you just said. Let everyone else carry the football. That's been effective. Don't have to worry about him throwing the ball in all the situations now. That's got to be a good feeling if he just relaxes and lets it keep coming to him.
Well, relax and enjoy the second quarter lead right now. Oh, he bowls over him. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And to give this time to the tailback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
On the move to his left. And on the left side, he's got Witten. The 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A big play that time on the catch and run. 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. James Hanna, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Whoa! He just yanked that one well to the left and no good. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Here we go now. Blue landing. Blue landing.
Cousins now on 2nd down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. Cousins. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And he fields it cleanly. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will change here with very little time remaining until halftime. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast to Orlando, where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Redskins don't have much to hang their hat on after the first half. The Cowboys have done whatever they want, and they'll just try to keep that up in the second half. All right, let's get straight to it. Here's some highlights from the first half. Cowboys open up on offense. Thomas has got the completion out of the gun. And a quick 3-play drive ends with a score, giving them an early lead. Midway through the first, impressive blocking frees up the ball carrier, and he scoots into the end zone for a second TD. That puts them on top by 14. 1st and 10. He's free and clear of the defense here, and this long run goes for a touchdown. Cowboys up now by 21. Cowboys line up at the 46. Here the pass would be completed into coverage, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to the 13-yard line. Cowboys now later on the drive. He's going to scramble away and take off, and this play will go for 6.
All right, Larry, indeed a one-sided affair to this point as we get set for half 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. Again, they run with Sims. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run.
All right, here we go.
Off the play fake, Cousins. It's brought in by Dodson. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. The play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone to the chalk of the 20.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed, plenty of open field to get after that.
And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Here's Jones. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
It was a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Now they run with Sims. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Charles Sims, his second touchdown on the season. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. So that drive 7 plays in length, and it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. Here's the Redskins now as their kick unit will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Oh, spinning away. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Now they try the right side here. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made that time by Chris Baker.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long. But maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Justin Hunter, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys add on. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
And the lead is now an even 30. So that drive, 4 plays, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync. Because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets. And you might not block them quite the way you want to. But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together. And that's what we're seeing right now. Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Second down, Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Randy Gregory in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight. And the defense will try and pin their ears back and get pressure again here after the sack. It's third down.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Third and long for Cousins. But he's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's fourth down. Here's Tressway now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And it's taken in at the 9. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Here's Thomas. Buying time to his left. And this one complete to Witten over the middle. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go. Flex round. Flex round.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the 4th.
Flex round. Flex round. Let's go.
On play action, they'll throw. Steps away. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And now this is back-to-back weeks that he has treated us with a really solid performance.
We know he's great. We expect it. But this is pretty special what we're watching here. We're watching a guy in total command of every situation, throwing the ball well, guiding his team, moving them. This is a whole lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it was fun last week. Sometimes it feels like we're in all these games.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. But that was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They come up in an offset eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. They'll look to throw here. Complete to Jason Witten. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jason Witten, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
That's fielded in the end zone. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Jackson with a grab over the middle. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Out to the left, it's complete to Dodson. Touchdown, Washington! Josh Doxson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Redskins are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit.
And that touchdown, that barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Here we go!
And they'll go on the ground. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels. Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
And Brandon, it's really no surprise to see them running the ball here. They've got the lead. There's not much time left. They just want to keep the clock moving and seal the win.
And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game. They want to keep it going.
The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on 3rd and goal. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Dallas, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face the Giants next week. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaughan, and this